Hey guys, it is Shane back here on WD18 for another preview. This time the Golden Boys head to Cardiff to take on Cardiff City in a 7:45 kickoff on Friday night. This game, of course, having been moved from the Saturday to the Friday night because of the rugby taking place on Saturday afternoon at the Millennium Stadium. Therefore, the football made way for the rugby because of a security concern. Before we get into the actual preview, let us have a little bit of a chat in regards to our last game, which was a 1-0 win on last Friday night against QPR in the 5th round of the FA Cup. A game, like actually all of our FA Cup games this season, is not going to live too long in the memory, although it may well do for me, of course having beaten QPR. A game whereby we kind of huffed and puffed our way through it, really. Lucky to maybe going 1-0 up at half-time, getting that goal, really, and almost kind of sitting on it. In all honesty, we never looked like increasing our lead. QPR, I think towards the very end, had a huge chance. Tony Leicester, their centre back there as well, that could have nicked them a goal, which would have taken the game on to extra time. But a pretty poor performance really from Watford, in all fairness. I think standout performers for me, of course, Etienne Capoue with a great strike. Miguel Britos and Aurelio Gomez. Of course, the draw was made on Monday night for the next round. We will be playing Crystal Palace at Vicarage Road. We will be welcoming them to Vicarage Road, and that game has actually been confirmed today as a 12:15 kick-off on the Saturday, the 16th of March, live on BT Sports as well. So, not particularly happy with that kick-off time, but it is what it is. All the quarter-final matches get televised anyway at this stage, so kick-off time aside, a chance for the Golden Boys to get to a semi-final, and actually a massive chance for us to get to the semi-final in front of our own support at the Vic. But moving away from the FA Cup, let us now focus. Focus returns back to the league on Friday. Let's get into some team news then. For Watford, two big boosts for Javi Gracia. Roberto Pereira and Isaac Success are back fit, having overcome recent injuries as well. Neither player were able to play against Spurs because of hamstring injuries, and they've been out ever since that time as well. Other bit of team news as well. Sebastian Prödl is back in contention to start and potentially be part of a squad for the first time this year, would you believe? He's, of course, been battling a long-term knee problem. The last, of course, person on the injury list was, of course, Kiko Femenia. And unfortunately, a little bit of bad news about Kiko. He won't be fit for the game against Cardiff. Having said he definitely won't be available for Cardiff, he may well be back for the next game. The next game, of course, is Wednesday night. Fixtures coming thick and fast at the moment. Next Wednesday night, of course, we do face Liverpool at Anfield, and it is projected that Kiko will return for that game. A big game. I would say it's a game that I'm expecting to get a result from. The Hornets are looking to secure their first league double over Cardiff since the 05-06 campaign. And ultimately, and aside from that as well, all 10 of Watford's Premier League victories this season have come with Abdoulaye Doucouré in their starting 11. So, talking about our starting 11 next as well, let us actually just get straight into that right now. In goal for me, it's pretty obvious, it's Ben Foster. Gomez, very well in the FA Cup. There is that debate raging now in regards to the FA Cup semi-final. Semi-final? In regards to the FA Cup quarter-final. Who does start in goal? For me, Ben Foster's our first shot. I'd start him in the league, and I would probably start him as one of the cups. So, in regards to Cardiff, Ben Foster starts in goal. Right back for me is Daryl Janmaat. Of course, Kiko is still out. Injured, of course. I really hope he does come back soon. We really do miss him on that right-hand side. Janmaat just still doesn't look quite as assured there at the back. Then we move on to our two centre-backs as well. You've got Craig Cathcart and Adrian Mariappa. For me, Mariappa as well benched for the game against QPR. He then came on. Cathcart wasn't involved in the squad at all, so Cathcart should be nice and fresh for Friday night. Left back as well, Jose Holebas is actually out. Sorry, I should mention that. I completely forgot about that. He is suspended for the game, for the next two Premier League games as well. So he won't be playing on Friday night and he won't play on Wednesday night. So Adam Messina comes in at left back. Apologies for that. I completely forgot about Holebas. But Adam Messina comes in at left back. Hasn't really played a lot this season. He played in the two FA Cup matches against Woking and Newcastle. Let's see what he can do on Friday night. Moving on to the midfield, Abdoulaye Doucouré and for me, Etienne Capoue start in that midfield. I think it is as simple as that. I sometimes feel as though the whole, I saw it on Friday night, cleverly starting in that midfield, coming on, I think he did. just doesn't seem to work for us. We seem so limited when he comes on the pitch, and I think we look so much better with Doucouré in there. As I said before in these previews, he hasn't reached the heights of last season, but my God, he's a cut above the rest, I think, in this team. And I think him alongside Capoue is our best centre midfield pairing. Right side of midfield for me, I would go for Gerard Deulofeu. Do I think Javi will start him at the right side of midfield? Nope, I just don't think he will. It's a shame, but it is kind of what it is, but that's just what I think should happen. Left side of midfield will be Roberto Pereira. Wasn't risked against QPR, but he's now back fit, and I expect for him to start against Cardiff. And up top, Troy and Andre. For me, signs of a partnership against QPR. Never really got going against what was actually a very physically tough QPR side, but I back them to start. Let us now move on and have a bit of a chat in regards to our hosts, Cardiff City. Their last 5 games have seen them pick up 2 wins, a draw and 2 defeats. The 2 defeats coming away at Newcastle and away at the Emirates against Arsenal. The one draw came before both of those matches in a 0-0 draw at home against Huddersfield. But the last 2 games they picked up 2 massive wins, a 2-0 home win against Bournemouth and a 2-1 away win at Southampton. They're a side, I've noticed it this season, they're a side that seem to just grind out performances. You know, Neil Warnock's a stubborn old man, isn't he? I mean, he just... he gets into arguments with the referees, he gets into arguments with officials, but his team do fight. They do fight for victories. They fight for the points. A case in point, of course, was our meeting with them earlier on in the season. We were 3-0 up, cruising. All of a sudden, Junior Hoylett scores an absolute stunning goal, and the Vic's absolutely silenced. And then when Bobby Reid scored, I think it was 8 minutes from the end, I started seriously having a massive panic attack because I thought Cardiff were going to go on and nick 3 points, and I think there was a last-minute corner, I think it might have been. It came in there with pinball. I mean, pinball, and frankly, that could have fallen to anyone, and Cardiff may well have nicked an equaliser as well at the very end. I believe they missed an absolutely huge chance as well. But they're a side that can battle. They're a side that have got a lot of fight in them, of course, and ultimately you need that fight when you're towards the bottom of the table. But I think just in regards to Cardiff this season as a whole, they had a very slow start. They're picking it up now, and I think they'll be fine under Warnock. I think he'll definitely keep them up. Let's have a chat then in regards to their team news, and not much to say really. Only one big bit of team news, and that is their captain Sean Morrison is out with an appendicitis. Aside from that, they've got a fully fit squad to choose from. Sol Bamba is a man mounted at the back. Kenneth Zohore, all right, he hasn't been in and amongst the goals, but they've got threats in there. Bobby Reid, massive kudos to him and what he did last season at Bristol City. A man that can score goals. A guy who I believe actually scored at Vicarage Road last season in the League Cup against Watford. I believe he did score, but he was definitely part of that team, and what was a great night for Bristol City. So players in that side that can score, the midfielders as well, incredibly strong in there. Of course, you've got Victor Camarasa in there, who can easily put out a very good performance as well. Kadeem Harris as well, the youngster. It's about returning. I know it's difficult. It's been difficult for me as well. I've been getting carried away with the FA Cup. It's such a huge chance for us to progress in the FA Cup, but our focus really has got to return now to the league. We're not going to go down this season. We need to be pushing ourselves to finish as high as we possibly can at the top half of the table. And games like Cardiff, guys, let's be honest, we should be getting the results. But I've got a lot of confidence in Javi. I think he's pulled some very good. He's done very well in regards to the selections as well. Selections I've maybe not necessarily agreed with. We've managed to go out there and get results, and there's a newfound optimism really at Watford now, and it's pleasant to be a fan. I should just say that. I know I moan a lot, but it is great to be a fan at the moment. We're moving on up in the table. It's just certain games I just feel as though we could get more. We are where we are now, and we are doing fantastically well, but we could be higher. And games like Cardiff are the kind of games whereby we could slip up, and we've done so in previous seasons. I hope that's different come Friday night. I'm going to leave that there though. Thank you so much for watching. I will be at the Cardiff City Stadium on Friday night, so if you guys do see me or any of the other lads around, come over and say hello. Give us your thoughts on the game as well beforehand. And all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on notifications as well. We will have our own match reactions going up as well after the game. So I'll speak to you guys at the game. And come on, you Horns.